Hello, my name is Sin Bagley, and today is June 6, 2022. I'm doing my daily I Ching practice with Paul O'Brien's Visionary I Ching. The first thing I do is take 3 deep breaths. Now I cast the coins 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The first I Ching hexagram is 52, keeping still, and I'll be reading the changing lines on this. Trying to induce rest through forced rigidity is like experiencing a computer to write poetry. An essential contradiction makes such efforts useless. When you are bone tired, a good sleep is more rejuvenating than a strict form of meditation. Changing line 4. Letting go of the ego's agenda facilitates a deeper kind of rest. Though sometimes the easiest way to let go is to satisfy the ego's desires first, if they are harmless. They who are able to move through the world with indifference to the ego's agendas are mostly free. Letting your heart rest in calmness is part of this process. It will help you achieve your desired outcomes. A deeper and more satisfying level of consciousness awaits those who can let themselves be still as needed. And it turns into 35, which is easy progress. The situation is one of easy, natural progress, which has been weak is ascending. And by gaining a prominent position will become more powerful. One image here is the light of the rising sun, which at first appears dimly through the mists, but the same light will radiate with powerful clarity once the sun has reached its high position in the sky. Progress is made when those in supporting positions make peace with those in leadership, and in so doing create a natural means for their talents and abilities to become more visible. It is by recognizing and riding with the natural course of events, by hitching our wagon to the rising sun, as it were, that we advance our position and earn respect. Goodness in human nature is like the dim but beautiful early morning light. However, just as the morning light can be swallowed by fog, greed, and hatred, and other forms of self-absorption can obscure this goodness, be reminded that progress is achieved most effortlessly when right action is taken without concern for immediate reward, and when the path of the weaker aligns with that which is strong. So, have you noticed I have not been doing the daily I Ching? Last Saturday, my little dog began to vomit. And then about the next day, it was diarrhea. And I thought maybe that I knew enough about how to stop diarrhea and whatever, that I could, take care of her. Well, there was 3 days of just constant. It was like my entire, all my rugs, my floor, and she sleeps on the bed, so all my everything was just covered in poop. And for 3 days I was washing everything. I was trying different things to help make it better for her. I was giving her a probiotic, and just nothing was working. Well, Thursday morning I woke and there was blood all over the bathroom floor. And I'll tell you, I was just panicked. So I called the emergency vet, and they sent me to this place. It was Pebble in Maryland Veteran Hospital. They would be open at 6:30. I was still connected to my dialysis machine, so I couldn't take her right away. And, I woke up to this about 4:30 in the morning. Now, I don't know how it is for any of you, but with the gas going up, the food going up, the rent going up, and I'm on a fixed income, I'm also been dealing with a chronic illness for years, so it's not the greatest situation sometimes. So I just knew this was going to cost me an arm and a leg. I was very upset. I was more upset that she was hurt, but I didn't know how I was going to pay for this. Because I knew they would want to hospitalize her, and I knew how much that was going to cost. So I walked in, I told them what was going on. They said they would let me see the vet. They said to me, "How much can you afford?" And I said, the closest I could handle was $400. I said, okay. So they showed me, they did a CBC with her. Well, there's always the amount for the office visit, but they did a blood test, CBC, which is, pretty similar to what they do for me when they're checking my blood. They did a pancreatitis test, and it turned out she had pancreatitis. So now the vet came in and said, well, we can do two things. We can either hospitalize her, which is what we would like to do. And I said, well, how much is that? That was $1,500. I mean, I can't even imagine. And I says, well, what's my other option? And he said, we can send her home with the medications. I said, and how much is that? $500. That's still way out of my budget. That's still more than I can pay. But I managed to do it. Anyway. So that was Thursday. I started her on the medication on Thursday. I had my appointments for my kidney, and it turns out that because I've been on high stress for the last week, that my kidney labs were not good. But that's another story. So got her home. She started to sleep. First thing, they gave me a probiotic, and they gave me an antibiotic for her. A very heavy antibiotic. And that was a very heavy probiotic, so that her stomach would be okay. And they told me I couldn't feed her at all for the first day, for the first 24 hours. Because of the blood, it needed to let her bowels rest, is what I was told. So between that, cleaning up all the poop, washing everything, I realized that I had nothing left. I think I was either getting up and washing clothes, or washing rugs and everything in the floor, and then I would have to lay down and sleep. And it took every single bit of whatever I had. Well, the good news is Foxy has responded to treatment. She's still on the antibiotic and the probiotic, but she's a little bouncy girl, and she's running around. The diarrhea went away, which is really good. Now I've got to deal with my own medical problems. So anyway, at this point, the high stress is finally gone. The problem is, once my body has been in high stress, it's very hard to bring it back down into calmness again. So yes, it was a rough week, and yes, I did learn something. I learned that sometimes you've got to go get help. Sometimes you can't do it all by yourself. So, anyway, it's a Monday. First day of the work week. You have a good day. And realize there are people around you that will help you if you need help.